Welcome to the vodcast for nicksmoot.com. Today what I want to do is make this real quick, short and sweet. Couple things. I've got a lot of work to do and the Gonzaga game's on tonight, so I know that totally dated today's post, but I want you to hear this. Huge Gonzaga fan, live in the Northwest. Come on, they're going to rock UNC. But today all I want to do is, if you would, go to nicksmoot.com and look at the actual article that I wrote. It explains a little bit better, hopefully, but I'll get it across as much as I can through the vodcast. I wanted to talk about a report that a guy named Robert A. Hummer put together, and when I stumbled across this research, it just was one more statistical and scientific proof that we do have a problem with how our families are operating in the U.S., and it's not just affecting our feelings and attitudes, but actually our physical, emotional, and mental health, our behaviors, everything. And that's why I think it's so important with what we're doing with Simple Mentoring and Mythos Project, how we're challenging parents and teenagers and families to rethink how we're doing this life. But the report basically summarized up, said this: children, so babies born to immigrant families had a higher, on a percentage, had higher birth weights and less infant mortality than if it was a U.S.-born mother who was having the child. So he compared U.S.-born mothers' children and immigrant mothers that are new to the States that are having babies. The babies born of the U.S.-born mothers, lower birth weight, higher infant mortality than the immigrant mothers. On most cases, the the U.S.-born mother is getting better prenatal care, better pregnancy education, all these things, and yet still there's something about being a U.S. citizen and living in the United States that causes these babies to have low birth weights and die more frequently at birth than the babies of an immigrant mother who's new to the States that's living here. Not only that was interesting, but then these children, as they become adolescents, the baby born of a U.S.-born mother has a higher rate of missing days of school because of actual physical health problems and emotional health problems, and also reports more at-risk behavior than the adolescent that was born to the immigrant family. Even more disturbing is this: when the immigrant family has lived in the United States for multiple generations, the percentages get worse the longer they live inside the United States. And by about the third generation, the infant mortality and the low birth weight and the poor behavior as teenagers and also the missing days because of sickness and everything else, emotional health problems, has matched where the U.S.-born children were and has surpassed it in some cases now. All that to say is this: if you don't see a problem with that, you're missing the whole point here. As we're living inside the boundaries of the United States, as we're being citizens of the U.S., I love America. I love many things about being a part of this, but I would say globally, we need to start looking at a couple things with our families and asking the question of, are we experiencing healthy parent-teen relationships? There's bigger questions asked too about all the stresses and things that we consider priorities as citizens in America. But since we're looking at this report that has to do just with Americans, I want to challenge those families. This is why we're challenging everyone to